Disputes over sovereignty claims in the South China Sea have long strained relations between Asian states since World War II. In 2002, an agreement between ASEAN nations and China temporarily halted territorial seizures by all claimants. Since 2007, however, tensions have once again risen in the region. In pursuing its maritime interests, China appears willing to risk exacerbating these tensions. China remains ambiguous about what rights it claims in the vast area it refers to as its 3 million square kilometers of blue territory, including the Bohai, Yellow Sea, East China Sea, and South China Sea. A prime example of that ambiguity is its dashed line claim in the South China Sea. China maintains there is plenty of historical and jurisprudence evidence to support its sovereignty over islands in the South China Sea and their adjacent waters. Regional states, including Vietnam and the Philippines, cite their own historical claims. The area's geography and its history in the latter half of the 19th century and the 20th are at the root of the maritime controversy. 3 major wars and the transition from colonial states to independent countries complicated the setting of clear maritime boundaries. China's claim is the region's largest. Beijing's dashed line, encompassing the majority of the South China Sea, has no published coordinates to delineate the extensive claim. Chinese officials state China holds indisputable sovereignty over the islands of the South China Sea, and affirmed the sovereignty over the Spratly, Paracel, and Pratas Islands, as well as Macclesfield Bank in its 1992 Territorial Sea Law. Vietnam claims the Paracel and Spratly Islands, although the extent of their claim has not been delimited. Taiwan also claims the Spratlys, with Brunei, Malaysia, and the Philippines asserting partial claims. Additionally, Taiwan claims Pratas Island, and there remains bilateral disputes over other features, such as Scarborough Reef. At times, these disputes have turned violent. China successfully ousted Vietnam from the Paracels in 1974, clashing again in the Spratlys in 1988. In April 2012, Chinese maritime law enforcement ships blocked the Philippine Navy from detaining Chinese fishermen at Scarborough Reef, a feature claimed by both countries. Tensions between China and Vietnam flared again in the summer of 2014 with the Chinese deployment of a deep-water oil rig in a disputed area near the Paracels. Although both sides refrained from military action, deliberate collisions between vessels created the conditions for escalation. Beginning in 2014, China embarked on a large-scale reclamation effort at all 7 of the features it occupies in the Spratly Islands. Prior to this project, China occupied only small, concrete outposts with a total land area of less than 5 acres. It has since created more than 900 acres of new land and has begun constructing at least 1 airfield. China has remade the geography of the South China Sea, setting the stage for the exponential expansion of the facilities at these outposts. This will enable even greater Chinese presence in the disputed area. Looking forward, there are no indications that the various maritime disputes in the South China Sea will be resolved in the foreseeable future.